Okay, so now I'm going to show examples of rotating shapes, so rotating a full figure. So we're going to start with this rotation. So it says 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. Okay, these are all going to be about the origin, so that you're going to have to worry about that. And I guess I should title it. So, rotations of figures. Okay. So now I'm going to rotate this, and I'm going to make these points a little easier to see the vertices of this figure. Okay, so those are the three original vertices of the figure, and I'm going to get it a little closer so you can see it. Okay, so the original vertices, I'll say this one, that one's 3, 1. Or 3, 1. 1, 4. We'll just call them A, B, and C. Okay, so A and B. And this one is at -7, +1, 2, 3. So -7, 3 was C. Okay, so there's my original vertices, and it says 90 degrees clockwise. So clockwise is the way the clock goes, so this way. Okay, so I, again, prefer personally to turn the actual paper. Okay, so this is going to be my A prime down here. So I'm going to draw, which would be the new one. So down here, at +1 when I went over, and down 1, 2, 3. Okay? So 1, down 3, which would mean -3, is A prime. And remember, when you're rotating 270 degrees clockwise or 90 counter, you flip the two numbers. So 3 became the y instead of the x, so and became negative, and 1 became the x. So my original it was xy to y -x here. Okay, so you can use that shortcut if turning it is not really a possibility and that sort of thing. I just think turning it personally is useful to figure out where to kind of visualize it a little bit better. But sometimes it's not an option. All right, so in this case, the next one, my B prime, will be right here. Okay, so and notice I'm not drawing it yet. I'm just kind of figuring out where things would be, and I'm going to put it back to the original. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 over, and down to -1. So again, 4 over was that original y, and down to -1, because that's now x, -x. Okay, is my B prime. And my C prime is up here over at 3 and then +7, right? So it would be 3, 7 would be C prime. And you notice again, flipped them and then became a negative. Negative is a positive. Okay, so that's another way to do it. You don't necessarily have to do all this turning that I'm doing. Okay, so now I'm going to draw the new figure. So 1, -3. So there's my A prime. 4, -1, which is my B prime, and 3, 7, so 3 and up 7, and here's my C prime. And luckily, I have a ruler because it's not the greatest idea to draw this without one. Okay, A prime, B prime, C prime, and here's my new figure under a 90 degree clockwise rotation, or remember, this is also the same as, or a 270 degrees counterclockwise rotation. Okay, so that would be kind of how that figure goes. And so hopefully that kind of is more clear. I think it's actually a little easier to do these personally with figures because you can see that you've gotten the same figure and you've just moved it. All right, so I'm going to do 2 more examples. If you're feeling comfortable and you don't feel like you really need to kind of keep watching, that's perfectly fine, obviously. Okay, so this one says we're going to go 90 degrees counterclockwise about the origin. Okay, so again, I'm going to kind of highlight these points for myself so I can see them a little better. And like I said, I'd like to turn them if I possibly can because I can move them around and it helps me to visualize it. So again, let's go, I don't know, we'll go bat for BAT for bat. And then B is -6, +5. So B in the original is -6, 5. And A in the original is -3, -2. And T in the original is 0, 2. Okay, so now we're doing a 90 counter. Okay, so instead of going clockwise that way, we're going to go counterclockwise. All right, and I'm going to change my color so you can see it. All right, so here I'm going to go now 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, so and then I'm going to kind of write my new coordinates over here. And then we'll kind of remind ourselves of the rule when we get the B prime coordinate. Okay, so B prime coordinate is over to the left 5, right? And now down 6. So notice over to the left 5 and down to that -6 where it was -6, 5. Now it's 5, -6. Okay? So you'll notice now, or sorry, I apologize, it's -5, -6. They're at -5, -6. That makes a little more sense. All right, so there you go. So now the XY became, okay, you'll notice this 5 became this, but it was -y x. Okay? So -5, -6. The new T, the new A is at 2, -3. Again, negative on that one, -2, which becomes a +2, and just regular original x. Okay, and the T becomes -2, 0. So we moved over to the left first, so -2, and then 0. Okay, and again, you could use this kind of formula and memorize that, and that's fine as well. Kind of getting that. I just prefer personally to like move it and then recall the formula. Okay, so -5, -6, so I would go over to -5, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that would be B prime. 2, -3, so over 2, down 1, 2, 3. That's going to be my A prime. And T prime is at -2, 0. Okay, and then I'll kind of just draw that one. Okay. There we go. All right, so there's my new figure, batch prime. So then I'm going to just kind of put this in there so that I have this notebook, and there you go. So there's bat prime. All right, I'm going to do one more. If you're comfortable, of course you could stop anytime. Don't necessarily need to watch the whole thing. Okay, but the last one I'm going to do is a 180-degree rotation, and on this one I don't feel like I really need to label the points because you can kind of see pretty clearly where they are. So if I go 180 degrees about the orange, you'll notice it doesn't say clockwise or counterclockwise because it doesn't actually matter. So I'm just going to go clockwise on this one. So in this case, here's 90. Oh, maybe I will actually, I'll at least write the points. That makes more sense because it's not super clear what they are. So I'll write the original 4 points. But okay. And so the original 4 points were -8, -2, -2, -2, -8, -9, and -2, -9. Okay, and we'll call that, say the -8, -2 is C, and -2, -2 is the A. Let's say the -8, -9 is R, and -2, -9 is D for card. There we go. All right, so then we're going to turn it. Oops, sorry. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. 180 degrees. Okay, so my new coordinates are going to be, my C prime will be at positive 8, positive 2. Okay, A prime would be 2, 2. Okay, R prime would be 8, 9. And D prime over here would be 2, 9. Okay, and you'll notice that this, which is equivalent to 180 degrees either direction, is when we start with x and y, we become negative x and negative y. Okay? And so now the last thing I'm going to do is going to go ahead and draw that. 8, 2, which is C prime, 2, 2, which is A prime, 8, 9, which is R prime, and 2, 9, which is D prime. Okay, and straight lines and I don't get along particularly well, so I'll just kind of quickly draw that with a ruler, and that's going to be kind of the last one we'll do as a practice, and then hopefully you're either able to kind of practice with using IXL or by using the file that I give you. All right. Have a wonderful day, and if you're watching this tomorrow, have a wonderful weekend because tomorrow will be Friday. Have a good one.